Go.
Hello, today I'm going to teach how to factor quadratic equations. There are two main ways to factor these equations. One way is the x method, and another way is using the quadratic formula. In this episode, I'll be using the x method to solve this equation. Our quadratic equation today reads x squared plus 10x plus 24 equals 0. To start the x method, we draw an x on the side of our board. On top of the x, right here, we take the last term and we multiply that with the beginning of the first term. In this case, there is no number or coefficient in this term, which means that we act like there's a 1 in front of this term. So we know that 24 times 1 is equal to 24. So we write that on top right here. At the bottom of the x, we write the middle term's coefficient, which is 10. All right? We have finished setting up our x, and we can start solving. We need to find two numbers that can multiply to 24, and we need to find two numbers that can add to 10. Two numbers that can be multiplied to each other and we get 24, and they must add to 10 together. I'll give you a moment to figure it out. Okay, the two numbers we should get should be 4 and 6. We must now plug these two numbers back into our equation. Since 4x plus 6x equals 10, we can just substitute it here and rewrite the equation. X squared plus 4x plus 6x plus 24 is equal to 0. All right, now we must split this equation in half right down the middle like this. We now have two equations, x squared plus 4x equals 0 or 6x plus 24 equals 0. Now we have to factor these two equations because our ultimate goal is to, with these type of problems, is to solve for x. Now we rewrite it as x term. There's another x, so we need to multiply that again. And because we already have a 4x, we can just write another plus 4. All right. Now we need to move on to the second equation. We add a plus here. Now we take the common. Our common is 6, and then it comes x, and then 6 times 4 will equal 24. So we add a plus 4, and we can check our question if we do x times x equals x squared, x times 4 equals 4x. We can also do 6x equals 6x, 6x times x equals 6x, and then 6 times 4 is equal to 24. So that makes sense. Also, another thing to know is that when doing these type of problems, you always want to make sure you have these two equations should be the same. If you get different numbers for these equations, then either your factorization was wrong or your x method was wrong as well. Now we can completely move on. We take x plus 6 from the middle, and we can just take one of these numbers, one of these equations right here, and we can do x plus 4 equals 0. However, we're not done yet. We need to solve for what x is. So in order to do that, we can do x plus 6 is equal to 0, or x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now we can do x minus 6 is equal to 0, or x is equal to minus 6. And we can do x plus 4 equals 0 minus 4, and we get x is equal to negative 4. So x is minus 4. So both of these can be your two answers for this quadratic equation.